Hello everyone, I'm Silvia and I'm going to introduce you how to handle the fourth and fifth BIM dimensions with our software Egbe, Mastro and cPlan. More in detail, Egbe is the IFC interface which allows to load the BIM data into the 4K collection, our software collection designed for architects and engineering firms. The 4K collection is mainly composed of Mastro and cPlan. Mastro is focused on the accountability part of the works, like the bill of quantity, estimation and the price analysis, so it's related to the fifth BIM dimension, while cPlan is focused on the fourth dimension, with the activities scheduling and the work breakdown schedule definition. Since these software are designed to work together, they both share the same file format, so the data can be easily passed from Mastro to cPlan and vice versa, so the workflow is smooth and linear. This workflow starts from a BIM authoring software like ArchiCAD and from the exported IFC file. This file is loaded from the 8 BIM module into the 4K collection, and all the data and the model described in the file are firstly visualized to the user into the module window. The module's data can then handled by Mastro for the bill of quantities estimation and, in a second moment, by cPlan for the activity scheduling. Let's see a demo of this process. The process starts from the creation of a 4K collection project, by simply creating a new data file where the 4K collection will store all the data. Then, when the project is created, it's possible to open the 8 BIM module of Mastro and to select from the file system the IFC file with the model data. After selecting the IFC file, the 8 BIM module will then start to load the data and to generate the geometry for the 3D representation of the building. Finally, when the loading is complete, the user can start to interact with the 3D model. At first, the 8 BIM module allows the user to navigate through the information written in the IFC file from a tree view. The user can also interact with the 3D model by selecting an element, which is then highlighted into the tree list, and as the user keeps interacting with the model, the tree list gets updated. This list is also useful to set the visibility of the element. For instance, it's possible to hide several elements or a whole floor in order to see more details of the building. Another functionality of the 8 BIM module is the Layers panel, where the user can see all the layers defined from the BIM authoring software and then highlight a particular layer. Once a layer is highlighted, it's possible to change the background color and the appearance of the highlighted elements. The layers filter can be also combined together to highlight more than one layer at a time. To go back to the normal view, the user can click the Clear Filter button. A whole different view of the data comes from the BIM Analysis panel, where the user can see all the elements grouped by their building element categories. For each category, he can see all the building element types and all the elements associated to the selected element type. From this view, it is also possible to apply several visualization filters, such as the highlight of a specific building element category, like all the walls, or of a particular type, like all the double plastered walls or all the insulated walls. It's also possible to select a single element, to highlight it into the model and to inspect its information, such as its quantities, which are then grouped into Abaco quantities, the ones coming from ArchiCAD schedules, the base quantities, which are the standard IFC quantities, and the ArchiCAD quantities, which are specific to ArchiCAD. Furthermore, it's also possible to see the element properties written in the IFC file, which, as you can see here, are the standard ArchiCAD properties, and the renovation and phasing status information about the element, which is in this case new. The bill of quantities estimation of Mastro is based on a price analysis of each building element type on the BIM model. This analysis can be done with the 8BIM module, where the user can select the building element type to analyze, select the correct renovation status, which in this case is new, and then start the analysis process by opening the price list. From the price list, the user can easily drag and drop the items. In this case, the double plastered wall is composed of concrete blocks and plaster gypsum. Once all the items are selected, the user can close the price list and then he can associate to each item its incidence, the relation between the item and a particular measure of the analyzed building element type. In this case, the concrete blocks are related to the thickness of the concrete layer of the wall, and also the plastered gypsum is related to the thickness of the gypsum layer. Once the analysis is complete, the user can confirm it by pressing the Save button. To speed up the price analysis activity, Mastro has a functionality called Components Database that allows the users to store the price analysis of the building element types, so it can be reused on different projects. In this case, I've already performed and saved the price analysis for the insulated cavity type of wall, so I can easily load it from the Components database through the automatic procedure. As anticipated, the bill of quantities estimation of Mastro relies on the price analysis performed with the 8BIM module. In this case, I've also analyzed more building element types, such as the columns and the beams. So now I can produce a bill of quantities estimation by pressing the BOQ button. This will start an automatic procedure that allows the user to select the structure of the bill of quantities, which reflects the IFC model hierarchy, and customize its level of detail. After selecting the desired level, it's possible to press OK to let Mastro estimate the bill of quantities. When the procedure is done, I can navigate to the Estimates Bill of Quantities panel of Mastro to see the produced bill of quantities. From this view, it's possible to navigate the tree structure to see the total amount and also the partial of each sections. The hierarchical structure can also be customized by the user to better accommodate his needs. For example, I may want to group the second-story walls with the ones of the ground floor. When I'm done, I can then update the partials by pressing the Update button. There is also the possibility to produce several prints of the bill of quantities, like the summary, which displays all the total amounts of required items and their costs. Another check that can be done within the 8BIM module is the highlight of all the accounted elements in the bill of quantities, so it can be easily identify which elements are not accounted in the produced BOQ, and for every accounted element, it's possible to see the detailed cost information of its building element type. The 8BIM module is capable to compare different versions of the same IFC model and allows to quickly update the bill of quantities. So, let's say that I received an updated IFC file of the same model and I want to find out which are the differences with the previous version. All I have to do is to open my project, go to the revision panel, press Load New IFC file and select the new version by simply dragging it in the new area. After pressing Load File, 8BIM will then load the updated data and then will display the new model, which appears to be the same as the previous one. So, if I want to find out if there are any interesting changes, I can use the Compare functionality. At first, I have to take sure that the selected revisions are correct, and I've just to press Compare. The 8BIM module will then compare the data of the two files to find out which quantities changed from a version to the other. Once the comparison is done, it's possible to see in the model which elements are changed, which are the new elements, and if there is something deleted. The same informations are also summarized on the right table and are grouped at first by building element category and then by type. By selecting a specific element, it is also possible to see which quantities or properties are changed. And if there is an analysis for the selected element, it's also possible to see how the changes will affect the bill of quantities. Then, to update the bill of quantities, it's possible to use the same functionalities as before, which will automatically update the existing bill of quantities by accounting the updated informations. When the update is complete, it's possible to go back to the Estimates Bill of Quantities section of Mastro to see the updated result. Finally, the activities schedule can be produced by the cPlan add-on for Mastro, which can be found under the Time Schedule Planning section. The CM button of this section will start an automatic procedure which will create a Gantt diagram starting from the Mastro Bill of Quantities by assigning to each BOQ entries an activity. The duration of each activity will be estimated by cPlan, starting from the quantities of each price list item of the bill of quantities estimated by Mastro, and from the information associated to each priced list item. By default, the starting date of every activity is the current date, but this can be easily changed with the shift functionality, which allows the user to easily change the starting date of the whole project. The users can then change the display order of the Gantt diagram by simply rearranging the activities in the tree list. These activities can also be linked together so that one activity will start right after the first one is complete. The linking procedure can be done with a simple drag and drop and will automatically shift the activities. Finally, this activity can then be manually scheduled by simply dragging it in the Gantt diagram. It's a cPlan that will take care to keep in sync every constraint and to update the overall project duration. This was a brief tour of the main workflow with 8BIM and the 4K collection, Mastro and cPlan. If you're interested in more information or in a demo, check out our website 888sp.eu or contact us at sales@888sp.it. Thank you for your attention.